The Zarnathi Empire had ruled the stars for over 2,000 cycles. From the icy rings of Belkar Prime to the molten rivers of Kortin, their control was unchallenged. Civilizations bent the knee or were crushed beneath plasma and fire. Resistance was futile until the humans came. Admiral Varnix stood aboard the Imperium's Fist, a dreadnought-class flagship stationed on the edge of Imperial territory. The void beyond was silent. Their latest conquest, the Trisari Cluster, had fallen with barely a whimper. Just as he turned from the viewport to address his command staff, the alarm shrieked. "Admiral, unscheduled spatial rupture Sector Theta 9, cried Ensign Clary. "What kind of rupture?" Varnix barked, spitting back toward the display. "Localized. Pinpoint. No known empire or allied signature. Something just emerged." The holoscreen flickered, and then it was there. A massive vessel, matte black, angular, and utterly alien. "What species is this?" the Admiral demanded. "No match in the Galactic Registry. But, wait, transmissions coming in." Language: Terran. Subtype: Human English. That word struck the bridge code. Human. They were wiped out. "Centuries ago," muttered one officer. "The Empire scorched Earth during the Expansion Wars." "Apparently not," Varnix said grimly. On the screen, the human warship drifted forward, silent, like a ghost of vengeance. It bore no official insignia, only a strange white symbol, a skull inside a cog. Then the transmission began. "This is the Revenant. You trespassed once. You will not be warned again." The voice was calm, male, measured, and absolutely terrifying. Admiral Varnix sneered. "Weapons lock. Disintegrate them. No relic from a dead race will challenge the Zarnathi." The dreadnought's plasma cannons spun to life, targeting the human vessel. But before the order to fire could be issued, the Revenant acted. In the span of a second, 6 Zarnathi cruisers blinked out of existence. Not exploded, not disabled. Simply erased from reality. Space folded around them like a crushed tin can and swallowed them whole. "Quantum weapons," gasped the science officer. "Impossible." The Revenant moved again. Not flying, but slipping between layers of space. It danced around them as if physics itself obeyed a different set of rules in its presence. Where did they get this? "Tech," the Admiral roared. "Who are they?" The human ship unleashed its next barrage. Not projectiles, but something far worse. A wave of electromagnetic disruption swept across the dreadnought's hull, disabling every sensor, shield, and weapon array within milliseconds. They were blind, deaf, powerless. Then came the final message. "We remember what you did to Earth, to our people. We've watched. We've waited. We are not your prey. We are your reckoning." A blinding white light filled the view screen. When Admiral Varnix opened his eyes, the Imperium's Fist was no longer in orbit. It wasn't anywhere. The stars outside were unfamiliar. The systems didn't respond. Gravity fluctuated. His crew floated in stunned silence. "Where are we?" Someone whispered. "Dead space," said a trembling voice. "We've been displaced." The Revenant had fired no traditional weapon. It had simply folded space and time around them, exiled them from known space. The Empire's most powerful warship was now a drifting relic, abandoned in an empty pocket of the universe. Back in Zarnathi core space, panic spread like wildfire. Fleet after fleet disappeared. Communications blacked out. Entire sectors went dark. And always, the same symbol remained. The skull in the cog. The Terrans had returned. Not as survivors, not as refugees, but as executioners. The Empire, bloated and arrogant, had never once prepared for vengeance that came cloaked in silence, wrapped in technological nightmares, and forged in centuries of exile. By the time they realized the scope of the threat, it was already too late. Humanity had vanished from their records, but in truth, they had never stopped preparing. They had simply gone dark and deeper. The last broadcast intercepted from a surviving Xonothi outpost came 2 cycles later. Before its systems collapsed, it read, "They do not conquer, they do not enslave, they erase, and they remember everything." The Empire fell not to armies, but to a single warship, and the species it underestimated.